back to the channel. It's Delaney with DeathandCandy 27. Today we're going to be doing our indie brand of the month. I bet you guys are wondering whose beautiful neon pigments I am wearing. We are going to get into that in just a few moments. We are featuring Lele Posh today on the entire face. Most of the products that we'll be using today besides foundation is going to be Lele Posh. I will see you guys on the application.
Tell me what to do. Show me how to feel.
Okay guys, I'm finally ready to start. It is like 10:40 the night before this is getting uploaded. So as you may have guessed from the opener, I'm going to be doing a brand focus video. This is my indie brand try for the month. I decided to focus on just one because I had so many products for this particular brand and it just didn't feel right like trying to squeeze in another brand and not letting it have its own kind of like light because I just had so many of Lele Posh to really kind of test out. I am so excited to show you guys these products on camera. I have gotten a lot through the Lele Luxe box that came out. She did it for a one-time thing back in January and I accidentally got two of them. I mean, kind of accidentally, but not really accidentally. So like I've done foundation, cream contour, brows. As you can tell, we're doing a nice pink and gray kind of tone today. I mixed a little bit of Bombshell with Plush, which are both from Distinction Cosmetics. You can use my code FASTTIMES to save yourself 15% on any purchases. Unless she's having a sale, then go ahead and use that sale discount, girl, because like it's more always. First thing we're going to be using is the Lele Posh Face It Volume 1. We have two blushes, two contour bronzer shades, and then two highlighters in this. I will warn you guys, if you do end up picking this up, the powders are very soft and buttery. So on the top we have Snatch. I'm using Looking Right, and I know you guys can't necessarily see it on camera, but because of the blush color that I'll be using out of this palette, I decided to go with the more warm tone of the shades. The top contour shade or bronzer shade is a little bit more cool tone, which is normally what I'm going to, but I wanted to try Looking Right for this one just to kind of show you a little bit different. And then the two blush shades, we have Rosy and Posy, which I love that name combination. So Rosy is this top one here. Then we have Posy down here at the bottom, which has a little bit of sparkle in it, but it's more cool tone, plummy, kind of pinky flush. And then the two highlighters we have on the right side here is Poppin Bottles on top, and then the bottom is Sis. So Poppin Bottles is more of like a cool tone, like taupe kind of shade, but when you put it on, it is so super pretty. Let me swatch these two for you. Poppin Bottles has a little bit more of a blue glitter shift into it, and then Sis is more of like a peachy kind of yellowy undertone. So like super silvery, super taupey, and then like I said, it has that nice kind of like coolie pink peach kind of shift on the Sis shades. We're going to be using Poppin Bottles, so the more taupey shade, because you know bitch loves taupe. So I think the retail value of this palette is 25 to 30, I want to say. I know she doesn't have it in store right now. The thing about Nina, who's the brand owner of Lele Posh, she does very small restocks. She is a one-woman show and she wants to do so many things, and I just admire her tenacity and her true commitment to making sure that when you buy from Lele Posh, your family and you get that extra family treatment and really makes you feel at home. I definitely felt that way when I purchased from her, and there was a palette I'll talk about a little bit later that, you know, she replaced for me and then sent me a shit ton of other stuff. So let's go ahead and get into face powder. Now, Lele Posh is super small when it comes to a following. She has about 4,200 followers right now. So whenever you get done watching this video, if you like these products, go ahead and give her a follow. I mean, I know you'll like them, but like, just in case you don't, I'm going to dip into do Lookin Right. And I will tell you that these powders are super pigmented. You're definitely going to want to tap off the excess. I'm taking a Morphe M436. This is what I normally use for any kind of bronzer or contour. And we're starting really high up on the cheekbone exactly, so when I'm blending it out, it's not dragging my face down. So you can see just with like that tiny bit, like I could barely see any powder on my brush. And I'll kind of show you guys how much kick up is like in the pan just from like barely tapping in here. This is a dual fiber brush, so it kind of stipples into pans more than like your regular kind of dome shaped brush. I'm gonna try to hold this up so you get to see how much like kickback falls into the pan. So we use that bottom brown shade here. And the reason this palette is so dirty is I accidentally like low-key dropped another palette on top of it and it kind of just like in the inside. So maybe she can press it a little bit more firmly or change a little bit of the binders in the formula so it's not as buttery, but I still really love how buttery and easy blendable. The blendability is the word I'm looking for. We're gonna take Rosy, which was more of that more like really vibrant pink blush. Like when it's not in the lights, it's super, super warm. And I'm gonna take a Morphe E49, and again, very, very carefully, I'm just pressing it into the pan. I didn't even swirl, you guys. I did not even swirl. So I'm gonna tap the excess of that off. And we're taking it pretty much up to the temple. I want kind of a more blush draped look today. I have been really feeling like blushed faces lately, so having these super pigmented blushes available to me is amazing. As you can see, it's very, very pigmented. You really do not need a lot if you're as fair as me. If you have deeper skin tones, more like a medium to deep, these blushes will be beautiful on you. I promise, I promise, I promise. The contour shades, I don't know how much you would have to necessarily build those up to really see. I think more in the medium to fair is more so what these two shades in here geared towards. I wouldn't say that super deep skin tones, if you have like deep reds or deep oranges, that this is really gonna pull out for you. If you're more of a cool tone, you may see it, but it may also kind of make you look a little bit of ashy or white casted. So just something to keep in mind. Again, that's just my assumption. I have not seen anyone of deep skin really use these particular contour shades or bronzes, whatever you want to prefer to refer to them as. And we're going to be using a gloss for liquid highlight because like I was like, well, you know, why not? I'll be using this one called Marshmellow, and so it's more kind of like a yellowy tone, more of a champagne. Just a little bloop. I'm gonna try to put this on my normal foundation brush that I use to apply liquid highlights with. And while I'm getting that on my brush, I want to talk to you about what I use for primers today. So Lele Posh has what they refer to as AMPLIFY, and it is a all-over primer. Like you can use it for skin, for eyes, for whatever you want it to be, honestly. I guess you could put it on your lips if you really wanted. I don't know why you would, but it may feel nice. And that's what I have underneath this foundation. And the foundation is from Beauty Creations, and it's their Flawless Stay foundation. They just released it a couple months back, and I have been trying it on and off. We're gonna try a gloss on today, actually, and you guys know I'm not really a gloss kind of gal. And it smells like vanilla and cupcake. Like if you like a scented gloss, and a lot of her other products have a small fragrance to them. I've noticed with kind of some of the single eyeshadows and highlighters that they have their own kind of smell. I don't mind it if it's not really crazy, but if you're sensitive to fragrances like that, definitely something you want to keep an eye out for. We're going to go in with the highlighter shade. I'm going to take a Morphe M501, and like I said, we're going to be doing Poppin' Bottles, which is that more taupe. Of course, her highlights are super poppin'. If you've ever watched any of her posts where she is swatching highlights or her lives where she's using one of her own highlighters, her highlighters are no joke, okay? Now, of course, putting this over a stickier gloss, of course, the highlight would be even more beaming, but like I'm gonna cover these lights up and then you're gonna see it and you're gonna probably die. Being upfront and honest. Look at that! Like, Jesus Christ! Don't catch me in the normal daylight because you're gonna be blind. Like you're blinded, I'm sorry. And before I kind of get a little bit further into it, I think for underneath the brow, I'm just gonna take a dry highlight. I don't think I want to apply that gloss underneath my brow. I'm going to take Poppin' Bottles and my Morphe M562. This would be an interesting highlighter that I would like to see tried out on an array of skin tones, just to kind of see, because taupe is a really wearable shade for a lot of people, but if you have kind of like a really warm undertone, taupe doesn't always look like the best. It kind of depends on what other aesthetic you have going on. Now that I have all of that highlighted, I'm going to go ahead and close this face palette so I don't accidentally knock it down and like splatter it everywhere. And today we're going to be doing some glitter brows. I couldn't do a regular schmegular degular look. So the glitter we're going to be using is one that I have been obsessed with since I got it from Lele, and this is the Febe glitter gel. I'm going to just do a little swatch because I have two of these vials because of course I got a duplicate for it in the Luxe box. It's a bunch of little iridescent glitters and they're all different shapes and sizes. It's got like some hearts, some stars. It has a couple different kinds of stars. Like you have your normal like 5-pointed star, and then it has some of those ones that are just like 4 points. Oh, and looks like there's triangles in here too. So we're putting that over the brows. I love a mixed medium glitter. Like I love it when I have different kinds of glitter all in one big gel. And if you guys know, for me being part of Spooky Babes team, like I like me some glitter gels. And I would say this one is more of like a cream than like a gel per se, because it just kind of exudes a wetness, but I wouldn't say that it always like dries down. And then this has also got hexagons in it. It's got a, like I said, an array of glitter options. I'm just going in there so I can get a little bit of the different shapes. So when we do some macros of this look later, we've got it all on lock. And I'm just taking a Morphe M170-2 to get this applied. And you do not need a lot, just put it right on. Obviously, I know all of you guys aren't really like always wearing color brows like I am, but if you want to go just the extra mile, oh, I forgot there was butterflies in this. I was just like, there's a shape every day, a new shape. Anyways, like I was saying, if you want to have color brows like mine and then go the extra step, put some glitter in them. Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it!
I love this glitter. It's so pretty. I did a look with it a while back in February by the time you're seeing this one. And it was beautiful. I love it. No complaints. Let's see if I can get a little bit of the glitter on those brows there. Yeah, so you're getting a little bit of it. Just a little sneak, a little extra treat. Next up, the eye look. So I'm going to prime my eyes with the Amplify primer like I referred to before. I have two different sizes in it because I ordered her new size, and this is the original that I got in my box. It is just like a little texture primer. It's kind of like the putty primer from e.l.f. if you're used to what that kind of feel is like. And it has a little bit of pearl in it for a little iridescence. And then this is what the full size looks like now with her updated logo. And then if you open it up, this one also has a little tab and you can just take that off. I kind of like the bigger ones of that. And then you just have nice cream, smooth. This is a lot. This is 5 grams, I think. It's a big ass jar. But yeah, I've been liking it for eyes. I'm trying, this is like the second time that I've done full face underneath it with the Amplify, so I'm enjoying that. And then the palette we're going to be using today is the Biohazard palette. Now, she has restocked this a couple of times. She also has it in singles available now. This is not the original packaging. It at least has the Biohazard symbol. But if you see any of like the OG people that have been following Lele for a while, you'll see that she like went above and beyond like labeling everything on the inside and just making it all look really, really stunning. And I have to be a little bit careful with this palette because this is the original one that I got sent that was cracked because of UPS being a piece of shit. All the top shades and then this one bottom shade down here are all pressed neons. You know, you have your array of a rainbow here, and then these bottom shades here are all shimmer. Like you could use some of the more iridescent ones as highlights, or you can use dark ones as highlights. Really just depends on what you want to do with your life, but they are just so pretty. I'm going to swatch a couple of them for you that we'll be using today. She did resend me a new palette and it came perfectly mint condition and no problem there, but I want to go ahead and use the one that's already kind of broken. And we're going to be using Toxic Love, which is the pink, Radioactive, which is the green, because you know me. We're also using Nuclear, which is the yellow, and I'll swatch those for you here real quick. They're very soft, same kind of butteriness as the face palette that I referenced before. And I'm just going to do like little tiny baby swatches because these are super pigmented and I'm awaiting the fallout to happen. Just essentially think of these as the same kind of formula as like a loose neon pigment, which you are normally going to see. And then do keep in mind that most pigments are not going to be eye safe for you. You put on your eyes what you want, girl. We're going to use Save Me, which is this iridescent kind of highlighter shade. And this would have been gorgeous to do on the cheeks. And it has like a pink and purple shift. I know my swatches really suck, but you can really see the blue in there and kind of the pink too when it goes into a resting position. It's the perfect like ethereal kind of shade. If you own anything from Terra Moons, which you guys know I love Terra Moons, very similar to their chameleon pigments that they have. So let's go ahead and get the eyes primed. I'm gonna be just using a little brush from Wish to use the Amplify primer, and I'm gonna go ahead and get that on. And then I don't take like a huge amount to apply it. I just get enough to kind of coat the brush and then I blend it out. And then I just have regular foundation on the eye right now because your girl be trash. I'm gonna make sure I try to get this all the way up into my crease. I just do it enough just to kind of be able to see the pearl on my eye. I haven't had a problem with using too much, but you know, you should never really use like a huge amount of primer on your eye. It may get chunky and nasty, bruh. Now we're going to take Toxic Love, which was that pink, onto the inner corner crease. So we're starting in just the crease first. Then we're taking Radioactive, which was that neon green. And then we're going to finish up with Nuclear here in the outer corner crease. And we're going to just focus on blending those all together, making them look really nice. And then we're going to cut the crease and then do the opposite as a liner and take Save Me on the lid. So I'm going to be putting the palette up on screen as I call out all the shades as I go through them. But that's just kind of the basic idea for the outline of the eye that we'll be using. I'm going to go in with, I guess I can just do this because it doesn't really matter about the eye itself. We'll be taking the Morphe M322, which is not a normal crease brush for me. I'm normally blending it on the outer corner with this one, but since we're going to be kind of focusing on a very specific area in the crease and not trying to get it all over the lid, I'm going to use more of a shorter brush instead of a normal one that I'm going in with the crease with. And we're going to take Toxic Love. Now, when I'm working with really buttery shades like this, I'm going to just press into the pan, not even swirl, and then I'm going to tap off the excess, and then I'm going to just stipple it on and build up from there. These shades are very buildable and you do not need a lot to get the pigmentation that you're really wanting. So that's me going about 2 times into the pan. Now you guys may have remembered way back when I did like a full face of neons. I'll link that up in the eye so you can have a nice little ball of laughs. I did my whole face in neon pigments and it was the same kind of consistency as this, but they were loose and it was just a mess. I had neon pigment all over me, all over everything. I like these a lot better. I kind of got a little carried away with how much pink I put on my face, but don't worry, we're going to blend. I'm going to take Radioactive, which is the green, same brush, just patting it into the pan and then brushing off the excess there. Now, since I'm having to go over the pink with the green, I'm going to have to apply a little bit more pigment than I normally would. And I just went back in with Toxic Love just a little bit just to blend them over each other. And as you can see where the green and the pink are meeting, it's a little murky, little nasty. I mean, I don't care, but you know, if you want it to be a little bit better, obviously do better with blending in the crease. Don't do shitty like me. And now we're going to take Nuclear, again, same brush, and this is the neon yellow. And we're just going to take it in kind of a little wing here in the crease. Not going to worry too much about the shape or anything because we're all going to cut this here in a second. Look at that neon, y'all. All right, and we're gonna take that Morphe M170-2 again, and I have a little bit of my foundation over here on just a pan where I was blending up my eyebrow color. And I'm just gonna take this and hopefully cut the crease and do okay with these neons because like I haven't done a cut crease with neons before, so I'm thinking it's all gonna blend together and look nasty, but we'll find out here in just a moment. You can always apply the concealer to your lash line and then just look up and you should be good to go. If you have hooded eyes, you always want to make sure that you're doing your crease above where your natural crease would be. That way when your eyes are in a resting position, you still are able to see that kind of crease. Again, you don't have all of those layers on the eye. Relatively even, nice. Really small boy. This is the Morphe M149 and I'm just gonna take it and go around that cut and then diffuse a little bit of the edges so it is not so harsh here. Not that these really need blending up or anything, but it's just like what I like to do when I do any kind of cut crease. We're just gonna finish up with the yellow. Not seeing the green come through as well, and it's probably because I put the pink way too far over when I initially applied, so that's my bad. So next we're gonna take that M170-2 again, and we're gonna go in with the shade Save Me, which was that iridescent kind of purple pink, and it is very soft as well in the pan, but I'm just gonna take like a nice chunk and we're gonna get where that crease is. And I'm really doing this just because I'm not that kind of person that likes like a naked lid, because I just feel like on my lids it's way too textured, and so I was like, well, might as well use this really beautiful shade and put it where it belongs. You definitely cannot see it on camera right now, but trust me, in person I'm definitely getting it. And I'm gonna take it far enough down to where it still leaves like a naked space for the liner shade that we'll be doing here in a second, so I'm not going to cover the full lid with it, just where I think that liner is going to kind of stop. So now I have some L strips on. Now we're going to do the opposite as a liner coming back in. So we're going to take that Morphe M149 again, that really small brush, and we're going to go in with Nuclear. Radioactive is going to stay the same in the middle, and then we're going to finish up with Toxic Love on the outer corner. I love how that eyeliner already got extremely out of hand. Radioactive. I notice as I'm concentrating more on like my lash line, I'm getting more fallout, but I think I put enough powder down and these are pretty light that it'll just sweep away no problem. Blush on my cheeks is pretty pink already, so it's not gonna really matter. And then we're gonna do a pretty dramatic wing here on this outer corner. We're gonna go essentially all the way to that L strip. Yeah, yeah, so that is the Biohazard. I have swatched the shimmers. I'll put it up on my Instagram probably in the next week. I have gotten kind of behind on editing my delivery videos, but it is coming. I will show everything that I got in this order from Lele Posh. I'm just going to take Crossed from ColourPop, the neon yellow liner. I'm just going to run that on the waterline. All right, so I'm just gonna finish off everything off camera, but I am gonna tell you what products I'm gonna be using. We're gonna be using 2 products from Baby Bat to finish the LASHLINE lip. We have the Midnight Mascara, which I've been kind of trying to stick to indie brands when I'm doing these new try-ons. And then we'll be using a lip from Baby Bat as well. This is in the shade Lawless. It's a bright pink, but I like to keep it a little bit more muted so it doesn't overtake all this neon that I have going on in glitter brows at that. Like, there's a lot going on in the eye area right now. And as I said before, I'm gonna be doing a gloss. This is the Fantasy shade from Lele Posh as well. It's a little bit different than the first one we used to apply as a liquid highlight. Same kind of small little doe foot here. I like this packaging. It's super cute. I'm not like a huge like bronze gold girl, but like if this was silver girl or like a black. Ooh. But the shades in here are kind of similar in tone to the iridescent shade that's on the lid. It's got like a pinky purple blue kind of vibe and maybe a little bit of gold in there. So I'm excited for that. We're going to put that over Lawless. And then I had gotten some lashes as well in my Lux box from Lele Posh. And these are just kind of like a faux mink synthetic kind of vibe. They're a little bit spaced out, a little bit more dramatic. They have a nice curve on them, but they're still pretty dainty and not like super crazy. So I'm gonna apply all that and I'll be right back to jump into close-ups. Okay guys, so there are the close-ups. I am loving the way this look came out. I think there's definitely some parts of it that I would love to recreate in other looks, specifically the glitter brows. I know you guys are really not getting it right now, but like if I cover up my lights and I just do a little bit of close-ups, you can definitely see the glimmer there on the shimmer little glitter eye. The Neon Pigments press shadows are gorgeous, beautiful, love it. I'm so glad I picked up the palette. It is $35. You can get the singles when they are stocked. So inspirational. Nina, I appreciate you so much, and I am so glad that you started following me and it helped me get interested in your brand and really kind of follow you back. And one of the things that Nina did before I ever even purchased any of her products was go and like through my photos, and I just think that that means so much as someone that is really trying to get out there. Even if I never like hit it Nikki Tutorials big, like it just means so much to me. I think that you guys should go support her just as a person. Who even cares if, you know, as a brand you like the products? Like, just go support her as a person, like honestly. One of the other great things that she always does when she finishes her lives or stories for the day, she always tells you to remember that you are important, you are beautiful, you're smart, all these great things. And I think that that's, again, so important for other people to really kind of tell other people that, because some people go through their whole life feeling like they're not worth it. And for someone who just goes out of their way to say those things every day on their Instagram stories or their lives, I just, again, think that's so important, and it's just a great role model. Anyways, besides getting all super sappy about that, comment down below if any of these products intrigued you, and I will leave her website linked, of course, so you can go and lurk on there. Definitely watch her lives or stories. It'll just kind of help you keep updated on what she will be stocking back up in the shop. Please subscribe if you haven't already today. My social media will all be linked down below, but it's all DeathandCandy27. I have my Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and here, and I would love it to have you as part of my family. So again, please subscribe before you leave if you enjoyed this video today, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye!